It's going to give Jason Keyser an opportunity to get inside of that 56 machine and battle for that transfer position.
The green flag is out. Jeff Rivard back out front. Here comes Angel Ortega up the inside of AJ Rogers. Jason Keyser up into the fourth and final transfer spot, but Steven Hassett is right there with him as Ingram gets up the racetrack. We got some crazy racing all around. Now Keyser's going around in 3 and 4.
Yellow does not come out. Those two drivers stopped. It was Hassett and Keyser stopped on in turn 4, but for some reason the flagman just said, get going. Now Keyser and Hassett way behind in the 9 and the 27 machine.
Jeff Rivard out front. Angel Ortega into the second position. AJ Rogers third. And Joshua Ingram now all alone in that fourth and final transfer spot. Steven Hassett's going to need to make up a ton of time if he wants any chance at catching the 56 of Ingram.
He's got 15 laps to do it. They're working lap 10 in this race. Joshua Ingram in that 56 machine all by himself in that transfer spot up front. Angel Ortega trying to put some pressure on Jeff Rivard for the lead, and AJ Rogers looking at as well as these top 3 have broken away from the field.
Yeah, top 3 nose to tail. Really no pressure. They don't need to make anything happen here. They're in this race, into the feature event, as long as they finish where they're at. So, but you're watching Angel Ortega. He is actually gaining on Jeff Rivard. So, maybe Angel just kind of wants a B-main victory to his name.
Yeah, Angel Ortega so far so good in that 12 machine, looking really good tonight, and he is putting pressure on that 72. He is right there. Rivard knows that if he makes any kind of mistake, Angel Ortega will be there to capitalize on it. So you can see Ortega taking a little bit different line as he's going to enter a little bit higher, cut down, and actually this time Rivard going to get a nice run off turn 2.
Yeah, Rivard trying to stretch that lead. Doesn't want to challenge here in this B-main. Just wants to bring this car home and put it into the show. But Angel Ortega right there with him. AJ Rogers back there in the third spot. And right now Joshua Ingram kind of in the good position here. The catbird seat sitting fourth. And he's got about 10 seconds right now on the fifth place car.
And I just checked, Jeff, he is running faster times than the 9 machine of Steven Hassett. So right now, Josh Ingram looking at a possible first A-main start in that 56 machine. Been trying all season in that Stinger Motorsports 56. And now, sitting in the transfer position, he just needs to finish out these last 11 laps.
AJ Rogers.
Make that 9 laps, Jeff.
Yeah, 9 to go when they cross the line. Jeff Rivard still out front. Angel Ortega trying some different lines. This is a good time to try some different things here in this B main. Not going to cost you anything here in the feature event if you burn up the tires. So use those tires up, try some different things, see what you're going to have in the feature event. And it looks like he's doing that. He's really running a different line than Jeff Rivard right now.
Yeah, I think all 3 of these guys kind of trying to figure out what they want to do. Is now Ortega up the racetrack, got into turn 1 just a little bit hard. The 12 machine knows he's in a transfer spot, lets AJ Rogers go into 17. So slots the 17 AJ Rogers up to second, Ortega back to third. Ortega looks to be struggling a little bit in that 12 machine as he's dropped all the way off of that top 2.
Yeah, not sure what happened there with the 12. Like I said, he was running a couple different lines, and now all of a sudden it's like he's off the pace. I don't know if he hurt the tires or what happened, but he definitely seems to be struggling.
Jeff looked like Josh Ingram got into the outside wall that time coming off of turn 2. He's digging as hard as he possibly can in that 56 machine. Definitely wants to make sure he transfers, but just doesn't want to throw it away at this point. In the back, you got Keyser and Hassett on the outside looking in. Those guys had got caught in that little spin that Keyser had with the 27 machine. They are not going to transfer if we continue and finish out this race the way we're running right now.
Jeff Rivard still out front, 4 to go when he crosses the line. AJ Rogers really trying to gain on the 72, not able to do it. And he's about half a second behind the 72 of Jeff Rivard, not able to close the gap at this point.
They're closing in on the 27 machine of Keyser. Keyser's making his way around this Langley Speedway. I believe it's his first trip to this Speedway on iRacing. Just had practice to figure out how to get around here in the car. You can see he's about to get put a lap down by your leaders.
That might help AJ Rogers catch Rivard. Now, Keyser's going to spin right in front of the leaders. Now he backs it onto pit road. We're going to stay green. Did a good job of getting that car clear of the racetrack and not bringing out a yellow.
He does not bring out a yellow, so we are going to come to the white flag. Jeff Rivard looking to pick up this B-main win. That was definitely something that Josh Ingram didn't want to see. He did not want to see a yellow, so we've got the white flag as AJ Rogers going to try to challenge for this lead.
Yeah, AJ has closed the gap here on Jeff Rivard. Rivard running a very conservative line here on the inside, and AJ not going to be able to do anything with him. Jeff Rivard wins the B main. He's moving on to the feature, taking AJ Rogers with him, Angel Ortega, and Josh Ingram going to make his first feature event here in the Challenger Series.
Congratulations to those four as they transfer into tonight's A main. Unfortunately, the 27 machine of Jason Keyser and the 9 of Steven Hassett going home early tonight. But 25 laps, got in a little bit of practice, and they'll come back stronger next week.
So, Bill, we got another B main here going.
Got some surprises in this one as well, Jeff, as you've got one of the early season winners, actually the winner of the opening round there in the 1 machine. Sean Hayes going to try to transfer in out of this B main.
Yeah, Sean Hayes won the opening week race, but here we go. B main number 2, we're looking for 4 more cars. Dave Corsell in the 54, Canadian driver, or former Pinty Series driver on that front row. On the outside of him, Aaron Johnson in the 78.
I just talked about him starting the inside of row number 2 in the number 1 machine. That is Sean Hayes, and to his outside, the redneck. That's Rusty Arthur.
Starting in the 3rd row, that'll be the 44 of Andrew Wamsley, and it looks like Frank Griffin, who was scheduled to start 6th, not going to make it tonight. So just 5 cars here, looking for 4 from this B main.
Yeah, we had some cars have some issues, weren't able to make it into the night's B mains. Unfortunately, we were only going to be sending home 3 drivers tonight. We had 24 set to start the B main, or start the A main, and we had 29 signed in, but only 27 started the B main. So we would have had 3 more cars out here racing, but they were having actually 2 more cars out here racing, but they were having issues.
Yeah, I think Frank was having some connection or PC issues. It was keeping him out of practice, missed most of practice. But here we go. Hayes car's going to head off the racetrack. Dave Corsell and Aaron Johnson on that outside in the 78, taking us Green Flag Racing B main number 2, taking 4 cars to the feature event.
Horsell with a nice jump up front as he's going to, actually, here comes Aaron Johnson. Looks like Horsell kind of missed the shift there going into the 2nd gear, the 3rd gear. Oh, Sean Hayes going to get into Aaron Johnson as they're going to wreck going down into turn 3 into the grass. Trying to figure out what happened there is, boy, oh boy, super aggressive move on lap 1 coming out of turn 2, and now Aaron Johnson and Sean Hayes in the back.
Yeah, looking to see what happened there. Aaron was up the racetrack. Sean made a run up the inside, and it's hard to tell if maybe the 78 didn't know the 1 was there, but he just never really moved up the racetrack, and I think that just caught Sean Hayes off guard.
Yeah, for sure. There's no apex happening from the 78 as he kind of stays in the middle, and we talked about it last night. It's really hard to see the cars that are around you or see where your right front is in this car. And unfortunately, those 2 cars make contact and end up in the back. Jeff, we also talked to some competitors last night, and they admitted to us that they do pinch at this racetrack. They're going to keep the cars as low as they possibly can so that they can try to slow down the momentum of the bottom because the top is so hard to get around here. I wonder if that affects some of our calls, as we know that they're actually doing that. As we saw some accidents last night where cars were getting door to door and making contact down the straightaways with the top driver not all the way out to the wall. And drivers admitted to us that was intentional.
Yeah, and you got to be careful doing it because we saw last night as well, people were not cutting brakes either. Once they thought they had the inside line, they were not letting you in line. And if you pinch, you try to chop somebody's nose, you were likely to go around, and that's what we were seeing last night as well. And right now we're going to have a single file restart for Dave Corsell. Rusty Arthur up to the 2nd spot. Andrew Wamsley 3rd. Sean Hayes going to restart in that 4th and final transfer position. And Aaron Johnson back there is on the outside looking in. He needs to pass 1 car here in this B main as we go green.
Dave Corsell getting a really nice jump over Rusty Arthur, going to gap him into turn 1. Here comes Sean Hayes already. Wamsley up the track in the 44 machine. Here comes Aaron Johnson going to follow him through. So Wamsley all the way from 3rd to last as he's on the outside looking in.
Rusty's in the infield. He's nearly spinning that car. He's going to come up the racetrack, almost make contact with Aaron Johnson. Now he's through the infield. He is all out of shape trying to get that car gathered up.
Rusty, he's going to go into the outside wall going into turn 1. What is going on in the 2 machine? It's like he's got a cinder block attached to the gas pedal as he's driving into everything.
And he is going to park that car. So that's going to end his night right there, the 2 car out of this race. So just 4 cars left in this B main. That's going to put Andrew Wamsley into the feature event. So Wamsley just kind of stayed out of trouble there.
So these These guys just need to stay clean and green. This becomes what we call the slow dash, Jeff, as nobody is fighting for a transfer position. So we've got cars that are done for the evening, as Rusty Arthur having issues in the 2. So no battle for any transfer positions. All 4 cars on the racetrack using this as a practice session just to see what they can get out of the race machine, as they are going to try to see what it feels like to go 25 green flag laps.
So Dave Corsell out front. Sean Hayes about 1 second back. Aaron Johnson in the 3rd position. Andrew Wamsley currently running 4th here in this B main.
The other thing these guys might do is try to catch each other. We've talked about it last night, Jeff. If you can catch somebody in the B main, that's a guy you don't have to pass in the A main. So you've got Sean Hayes, a fast race driver, Aaron Johnson, a fast race driver. They're trying to catch the 54 of Dave Corsell, who is also fast, like you said, Jeff, raced in the Pinty Series up in Canada a few seasons ago. NASCAR drivers, that's quite impressive from the 54 driver. Those guys trying to catch him so they can put him behind them in the A main.
And Sean Hayes, remember, he was a winner in opening night of this series. Sean Hayes in the 1 car, one of those academy drivers, picked up a victory at Hickory. Now we haven't really seen much of Sean since. I think he only ran 1 other race. Hasn't been around much, but comes back tonight to run Langley, and looking good so far to transfer into the future event.
Yeah, so far so good in that 1 machine. Had a little bit of an issue on that first lap with Aaron Johnson, but now he's in 2nd place. That will put him in a solid starting position for the A main. Tough place to pass here at Langley. He has his work cut out for him in that A main event, but you never know, Jeff. We saw guys come up 16 spots. Tom Dreiling was your hard charger last night, running 25th to 9th. So you can make moves here at Langley. You just got to keep your nose clean.
Sean about 0.8 of a second behind Corsell. Corsell running a little bit faster than the 1 car is right now. Again, these guys just kind of using this opportunity to learn, get some time on the tires, and see what they're going to have for the future event. Jeff Rivard actually sharing some of his tire temp information. Looks like he actually kind of burned up the right front in his run there in the B main.
So that is quite interesting, as he only went 20-some laps green flag racing. That is bad news if these guys get a long green run, as they're going to be tight trying to get through these corners.
Yeah, definitely. Funny part is Jeff had shared that with the whole group of everybody in the server what his tire temperatures were. And he said, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to send them to Ryan Dunkelberger. So everybody got a little bit of free information there from Jeff Rivard.
Oops.
But Dave Corsell out front. Sean Hayes starting to gain a little bit. He picked up about 0.2 of a second on Corsell the last couple laps, trying to close that gap right now. Steiner Motorsports in the house. We got one of their cars in the show. Joshua Ingram going to move on to the feature event out of B main number 1. So Ingram, congratulations, go into the feature.
Don't forget, you have multiple places to watch the broadcast every single night here at In the Zone Racing. We actually broadcast to basically 4 different locations. You can find us on Facebook. Of course, a lot of you are in that. YouTube, In the Zone Racing. Twitch, we're In the Zone Racing online. And on our webpage, which is inthezonracing.com, there's actually a watch live button up in the top left-hand corner, and the webpage actually streams the Twitch feed. So there's actually a chat in there as well that you guys can take part in. But yeah, we're all over the internet.
Well, under this green flag run, Sean Hayes is really starting to cut into this lead of Dave Corsell. You can see the 1 car gaining on the 54 every single lap. He's cut it down to about half a second now, and gaining about a half a tenth every time by, and really starting to make moves on that 54. We'll check it here at the line, another 10th off of the 54. So Sean Hayes, I think he's going to get there before this one's over.
We talked about it, Jeff. You want to get there and try to get that guy behind you so that you can not have to pass him in the main event. Sean Hayes starting to close down on that 54 machine as he's trying to make a battle for a challenge for the lead. He's about 2 car lengths back as he hit the back straightaway. Dave Corsell still out front, but Sean Hayes is charging quickly to the front.
And Dave Corsell now 2 to go for the 54. Sean Hayes trying to narrow the gap. It's down to 0.3 of a second that time.
Slowly chipping away. He's going to get the white flag. Dave Corsell gets the white flag as he crosses the line that time. It doesn't look like Sean Hayes is going to be able to get there. Is Corsell going to hit the back straightaway looking for a B-main win?
Yeah, Corsell actually ran a little faster that time by. Maybe he's just been kind of riding, saving. Saw the one-car gain, and off turn 4, he's going to win B-main number 2. Head to the feature event. Take Sean Hayes with him, Aaron Johnson, and Andrew Wamsley.
That should start Corsell in 18th, Hayes in 20th, Johnson in 22nd, and Andrew Wamsley in 24th, starting the A-main. So we're going to get a 2-minute warm-up session for your A-main drivers. A bunch of guys been sitting after qualifying, getting cold, so we give them 2 minutes to get back to their rhythm and get out there on the racetrack and feel good about their race cars once again. Then we'll go to the grid and we'll announce your starting lineup for tonight's A-main event.
Yeah, these drivers going to get one final moment here to put some laps in and see what the track is doing. Remember, the way this works, the weather does change here on iRacing, and we do have dynamic weather and dynamic sky, and that'll kind of change things as long with the rubber buildup and the way the temperature takes heat and the rubber takes heat. It actually lays down on the racetrack, and it really does change things for these drivers. It'll change the grip levels, and it'll change how hard you can push the car and drive the car and what line you need to be in. And those guys now going to take their final look at the racetrack before we go green flag racing.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by LaDuke-Matthews Racing. That is a super late model team. That's how we know them best around here in the iRacing service. Ryan Matthews, part of that team, a very, very fast super late model racing team. They have the option of giving setup help and driver coaching to you. If you go over to their Facebook page, give them a like, you can contact those guys over at LaDuke-Matthews Racing. We absolutely appreciate their support. And even if you're not looking for setup or looking for driver coaching, go over there and give them a like anyway. Let them know that you support the people that support iRacing and basically our hobby here at In the Zone Racing.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on with LaDuke-Matthews. They pretty much run all the big super late model races. We saw them on our broadcast of the Fall Brawl. Both of them, Justin LaDuke and Ryan Matthews in that race. We've seen Ryan Matthews run a lot here in the late model shootout series as well with us on Monday nights. So you'll see those guys around. You can follow their progress on sim racing and Ryan Matthews' real super late model in real life. And you can follow that all on LaDuke-Matthews Racing's Facebook page. That'll do it for warm-up. So we are going into gridding for our feature event. And Bill, this invert made some interesting moves here to this field, and looking at that front row, this is going to be a fun front row tonight.
For sure. As we know, both of these drivers been here all season. And by the way, if you are watching on YouTube, I am monitoring that chat tonight. So if you do mention something in the YouTube chat, I believe we have 8 people watching on YouTube at the moment. I will be able to read that on the broadcast. Jeff, go ahead and take the front row.
Starting on the pole for tonight's LaDuke-Matthews 125 in the 99 car. That is Cade Brown on the outside of him. They call him Super Zach, the 08. That's Zachary Onan.
Starting the inside row number 2 in the 81 machine. It's the Ravishing one. That's Rick Rubin to his outside. One of the top points guys this season in the 72 machine. It's LP Lazier.
Starting in 5th, one of the guys in the championship battle, the 22 of Jordan Harnish on the outside of him. The guy leading the championship points, the 51, that's Ethan Johnson.
One of the newcomers in the series, but already has a win in the 6 machine. That's Felix Gratton, starting 7th. And starting on his outside in the 18 machine, quick time, Christian iRacer's quick time this evening, the 18 car, Ryan Dunkelberger.
One of the guys you saw last night will start 9th. That's the 212, Jonathan Sanford, doing double duty on the outside of him in the 10 car. That's the 11 of Blaze Brinkley. Starting
11th in the 98 machine, another guy that's really high in the point standings, to believe in the top 4. That's the 98 of Ian Martin, and to his outside in the 112, that's Del Mears.
Starting 13th tonight in the 7NC, that's Luke Baldwin on the outside of him. The 30 car, that's Will Dravicki.
Starting in the 15th position, it's 46 in your program, but 18 on the race car. That's John Philippe Bergeron, and to his outside, it's Uncle Pete in the 71, Peter Fisher.
Jeff Rivard, the B-main winner, will start 17th tonight. And on the outside of him in the 18th position, the 54, the other B-main winner, Dave Corsell.
Starting 19th in the 17 car, that's AJ Rogers, and to his outside winner, week number 1 in the 1 car, that's Sean Hayes.
Angel Ortega going to start 21st in the 12 car on the outside of him. The 78, that's Aaron Johnson.
Starting in the 23rd position, his first A main with the series. We talked about that earlier, the Stinger Motorsports 56S. That is Joshua Ingram, and to his outside in the 44 machine, that's Andrew Wansley.
Well, Bill, we did have one car going to the rear of the field. That is Sean Hayes. He had a penalty from a previous race. He had 2 cautions, so he coming back to race with us. He's got to go all the way to the rear of the field for that EOL start. And our penalty system, we do our best to try to keep the incidents down and the cautions down, and part of that is sending guys to the back when they cause them.
Unfortunate for the 1 machine, but we have lights out on the pace car. Cade Brown in the 99 car about to go green flag racing. Zach Onan to his outside. Pace car is off. Cade Brown on the loud pedal.
And Onan going to slot right in front of Rick Rube for the 2nd spot. That's going to leave LP Lazier on the outside. That first car leading the outside charge with Rick Rube on the inside in the 81. Behind them, 2 of the points guys battling, Jordan Harnish and Ethan Johnson battling. Here comes Felix Cratton in the 6, and they're still double file all the way around this racetrack.
All night long last night we saw guys on the outside struggling to make any kind of momentum, and it seems it's the same way right now as we get an early yellow on lap 2. Luke Baldwin looks like he is involved.
Luke Baldwin around in turn 2, and it looks like he maybe got some help for Philippe Bergeron in the 18 car. We're going to have to take a look at that one and see what happened there, but Luke not very happy about that situation.
High levels of aggression, Jeff. I think that's what that was all about. It looks like Luke Baldwin goes into the corner just a little bit high off the bottom. Jean-Philippe Bergeron thought he was leaving the bottom open. We saw this last night. His car's entering the corner high. By the time they're in the corner, they start to cut down thinking they're clear, and the car on the bottom is making a ton of ground, and where Bergeron gets in the left rear of the 7 car.
Yeah, that's a tough one to judge there. It does look like the 7 kind of left the door open for the 18 of Bergeron there, and maybe changed his mind about halfway through the corner.
I think his intention was always to get to the bottom, but he just wasn't there entering the corner. That's a really aggressive move. We have to determine whether or not that is a racing line there by Jean-Philippe Bergeron as he goes to the apron to get to the inside of the 7 machine and then makes contact.
You're kind of looking at it from the drone camera there on the replay. It was an aggressive move. He did get down onto the apron there, so that's a tough call. But I definitely can see from his point of view where maybe he thought the 7 was going to stay high there.
Yeah, I still think he goes all the way. I just don't love how low he is. I know last night we had some guys get on the yellow, get on the white, just a little bit with the left side, but that is clearly going to the apron to pass somebody.
So the 46, actually the 18 car Philippe Bergeron going to go to the rear of the field there for that contact. He's going to join Luke Baldwin at the rear of the field, and that's going to give us the 1 to go. Pace car lights are off. We're going to double them, or actually we're going to have a single file restart. They didn't complete a lap, Bill.
They got close, but the entire field wasn't across the line, and so that is considered a non-finished lap, I guess, here in the iRacing service. So we will go single file. Cade Brown will lead this race, and there'll be Zach Onan running 2nd, Rick Rube 3rd, LP Lazier 4th, Jordan Harnish in 5th.
We saw how these single file restarts really spread out the field. I mean, they're wrapped almost all the way around this racetrack here on the single file restart. Cade Brown takes his green flag racing. Zach Onan in tow with Rick Rube there in the 3rd spot. Everybody staying clean and green through 1 and 2. I see a little contact between Ian Martin and Blaze Brinkley. Brinkley trying to make a move on Jonathan Sanford. There was a little contact there. That's battle for 10th position.
Yeah, these guys trying to get forward as fast as they can. There might be some contact between AJ Rogers and Will Dravicki. That sent Dravicki up the track. Everybody able to check up behind them, so no more contact made. And in fact, AJ Rogers apologized to Will Dravicki for that one, as we see most cars all single file.
So Cade Brown out front. He's led every lap so far. Started on the pole, still leading Zach Onan. Rick Rube there in the 3rd spot. Here comes Jordan Harnish. He is starting to gain on LP Lazier. Lazier in the 4th spot. Harnish there putting the pressure on the 72. Both of these guys in that championship battle. LP comes into this race 2nd. Harnish 4th. He's only 10 points out of your leader who's in that 51 car. Ethan Johnson in the 51. 10 points up on Harnish, who's in the 4th spot. So it is a tight battle. There's 4 guys in the championship mix here with just 3 races to go.
And it is so difficult to pass here at Langley. So difficult as you're trying to get a run on somebody. You're watching Harnish do everything he can in the 22 machine to try to get around the 72 LP LaDuke. Looks like he's a little bit quicker right now. You saw him move up the track in 1 and 2, trying to cross under and get underneath him down the back straightaway, and just can't do it. Cars are just so equal. Of course, we run the same setups here. Everybody on the same setup, so it's just so difficult to pass.
And it really is a risk-reward type deal. I mean, you want to finish ahead of these guys. You need to beat them. But if you take a penalty and go to the rear of the field because you spun somebody out, I mean, that's just a disaster in your championship battle.
Yeah, if they're going to continue to go green flag racing, it's so hard to pass here. If you go all the way to the back and you're sitting in 24th on the restart, the guy that you spun, who knows where he ended up? Maybe he gets spun back around and he's running 8th, and now you've lost that many points to that driver.
Well, Cade Brown still out front. Zachary Oden has not lost the rear bumper of the 99. He has been right with him this entire run so far. Cade Brown still leading laps here, led every lap as we start lap 15. Zachary Oden still in tow. Rick Rube starting to put a little gap on LP Lazier. Looks like maybe Lazier really battling with the 22, having to watch the mirror, stay conservative, make sure he's defending that position, and that's kind of keeping him out of reach of the 81.
Yeah, LP Lazier definitely has to defend entries and exits in the corners as Ornish almost makes contact with the 72 machine. In fact, might have rubbed the bumper through 1 and 2, but he is definitely playing defense. The 72 machine is trying to keep that 22 car behind him.
Yeah, and you can see the 22. He's getting a lot better run off the corner, but he's having to back off a bit. He just can't quite get under the 72 of LP Lazier at this point.
So now LP Lazier up the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. That's going to give Harnish the opportunity in the 22 machine. They're going to go side by side down the back straightaway. LP lets him go. We'll slot in behind him in 5th.
You can see LP hit the brakes on the back straightaway. Once he saw the 22 was there, he decides, I'm going to slot back in line before Ethan Johnson can take away the inside position. LP going to minimize the damage. He'll only lose 1 spot to Harnish. If he would have got stuck on the outside, it could have been a disaster for LP.
Probably not something the 81 of Rick Rube wanted to see. Jordan Harnish clearly faster in the 72 machine. He's going to close down on Rick Rube right away. Rube probably was feeling pretty comfortable in that 3rd position, driving away from the 72 car. And now here comes Harnish as he's going to try to close up to the back bumper of that 81 machine and battle him for 3rd.
We saw Harnish last night in the late model shootout series. He led about 30-something laps, about 35 laps, and Angel Ortega coming out of the pits. Didn't see what happened to the 12, but issues for the 12 of Angel Ortega. He's off the pace.
Trying to see where he is on the racetrack. Looks like he just went a lap down, Jeff, in the 12, so he'll get back out on the track. No yellow, be 1 lap down in that 12 machine.
Andrew Wamsley going to be the next car to go a lap down in the 44. He goes way up the racetrack. He's going to let the leaders go. Cade Brown going to go on by, and Wamsley going to be the first car a lap down now.
Wamsley up the racetrack. Tough up there, too. It is slippery on the high side with all the marbles.
Harnish, and now LP Lazier going around on the back straightaway. He's into the grass, a little contact from behind, and the caution is going to wave. And it looks like there might have been an incident with Aaron Johnson went around at the same time. So now we got to figure out what brought out that yellow. And it looks like he got a little help from Dave Corsall. Corsall got onto the on the bump there going into turn 1, and I think that upset that car a little bit, and he just kind of rolled into the back of the 78.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a notice from the trucks that it was the 78 that brought out that yellow. That's what iRacing threw the yellow for, and then LP Lazier was down on the infield. When we've seen, Jeff, when cars go down on the infield, the yellow doesn't come out for them, so that would make sense.
Yeah, LP got turned around. There was that stack up there on the back straightaway. LP got turned around. That's a kind of a big break for him, as long as he gets to keep that position. The yellow was out before that incident.
Race control making that call. Dave Corsall to the back in the 54 machine, got into the 78 car. LP Lazier does not end up in the back in that 72 machine, but he lost a ton of ground as he was running in that top 5 in the 72 car. You will find him back now in 16th. So he will slot in right in front of the 78 machine that was the cause of the yellow. So Lazier unable to get moving off the infield in that slippery grass and loses about 11 positions in that incident.
Andrew Wamsley going to pick up a lucky dog, be back in the lead lap in 23rd position. It'll leave one car one lap down. That's Angel Ortega, who just came down pit road. Looks like maybe a little damage there on the 12. He's trying to get repaired. And pace car lights are out, so we're going to get double file. This is going to be an interesting restart here. It'll put Harnish out onto the outside now with Ethan Johnson on the inside in 5th. Cade Brown still your leader. He's led every lap here on lap 28. Zachary Onan in 2nd. Rick Rube 3rd. Harnish, Johnson, and Felix Gratton now up into the 6th spot.
So Cade Brown, Zach Onan going to be your front row. We're going to watch Cade Brown get back on it in that 99 machine. Pace car is going to be off the racetrack. Brown goes pretty much at the same place he did last time. Onan going to have a clear spot into the inside. Rube giving him a little room. It's going to be Harnish on the outside of Rube for the 3rd position.
Harnish trying to make it work on the outside. We saw McCollum last night make some moves on the outside on these restarts. You can do it for about a lap, and then you really got to get in line. And right now, Harnish is stuck on the outside. There's nowhere for him to go to the inside, and now he's in trouble. But the caution's going to wave here on lap 30. Luke Baldwin around on the front straightaway.
Trying to figure out what happened to the number 7 machine. There's a big checkup. It looks like Rivard gets sideways, and Luke Baldwin, to avoid, just cuts down. Unfortunately, there was a car down there.
It looks like teammates got together with Rivard and LP Lazier. They got together in 3 and 4. Those are team cars. They got the same number, and they got together, got Rivard up the racetrack, and everybody trying to avoid Rivard got stacked up, and that turned around the 7 car, Luke Baldwin.
Yeah. Baldwin's avoiding there, and there's just no way for Peter Fisher to know where he's going to end up. If they're side by side, Baldwin just kind of driving down the bottom. That's kind of a racing deal. As the 72 would not have brought out the caution. The caution is the result of that stack up.
So we are under caution here on lap 32. Angel Ortega going to pick up a lucky dog. So we're going to have all 24 cars back on the lead lap here. It's the 12 going to go on by, get his lap back.
If you are on the YouTube chat, I just gave a peace sign to everybody. You guys can say hello or hit that subscribe button. That helps us out with the YouTube algorithm.
So I hadn't been checking the Facebook chat in a while. Eric Dickman here cheering for Super Zach, who's, of course, started second, running second right now. He says he's due for a win. I kind of agree. I think that 08, I mean, he has been so good all season long and just hasn't quite had the luck to get a win yet, but looking good tonight. See Caroline Savard here cheering for Jeff and LP Lazier. And then Chuck Johnson here cheering for the 78. Corey Bigley with us cheering for the Revelry and SPM drivers. I heard Corey's going to be back in action with ITZR next week. We got our own little snowball derby happening next week with the Lone Star eSpeed Shop 125s at Five Flags. Remember, the actual snowball derby going to be taking place on Sunday, this Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday night we're going to Five Flags ourselves. We're going to have our own little snowball derbies, 125 lappers each night, Monday and Tuesday night. That should be a ton of fun. Those are going to be big races for us here at ITZR, especially as this championship battle comes to a close. We got 2 tight battles, Thomas Axum and Cole Cabry up there on Monday nights. Very close points battle, and then of course 4 drivers still in the mix here in the Challenger Series.
Big prizes for the champions of both series. This one giving away over $350 worth of cash and prizes. So here we're about to go green flag racing once again. Cade Brown on the gas. He's going to clear Zach Onan. Onan is clear to drop down. We see that happen every single restart so far. In a replay of the last restart, Rick Rubin, Jordan Harnish going to be side-by-side for third.
Harnish got about a fender on the 81 there. The 81's going to drive it in deep through 3 and 4, trying to make up that spot. Harnish has got some room behind the 81. If he can get there and get in line, Ethan Johnson's going to say, no way. He dives it into 1, takes that line away. He's going to hold Harnish up on the outside.
Harnish tried to get down going into turn 3, shoves Johnson to the apron, but we are yellow once again.
Joshua Ingram is backwards in 3 and 4. Ooh, it looks like Ingram actually got the wall down the front straightaway, and that really slowed his momentum down. Andrew Ansley got to the back of him there.
Josh Ingram having issues coming off of turn 4 in that 56 machine.
Yeah, that's just Ingram got up the racetrack. He hit the wall. That thing climbed the front stretch wall. Nothing Andrew there could do. As the 56 really kind of slowed down in front of him there after he climbs the wall, and that's going to bring out our, I believe, our 4th caution of the night.
Jeff, we finally got a response on the YouTube broadcast as Jeremy Heath says the champ's going to be Ethan Johnson.
Well, Ethan in a good spot right now, leading the points, and we've been talking about all season his qualifying efforts, those bonus points we give. Because of the inverts, we give 5 bonus points to quick time, so these guys go for it. We want them to go for the $5 bonus award, bonus payouts for the quick time, and we don't want them to go for the inverts. So Ethan Johnson, he's been stacking up those pole awards and those 5 bonus points, and really those are the difference right now. He's been having to start deep in these feature events because of those inverts, and right now he's making it work and leading the points right now. LP Lazier came into this 2nd in points, and Ian Martin 3rd in points. Ian, one of those guys, has been the complete opposite of Ethan Johnson. He hasn't qualified well, but he finishes like top 5 every single week.
You're taking a look at everyone's fast time on the left side of your screen. Their fast laps so far. As we haven't had a tremendous amount of green flag racing, as we've had a little bit of a breed caution situation here, as unfortunately it's been the back half of the field having some troubles.
There's been some aggressive racing up at the front as well. We saw there Harnish and Ethan Johnson. They were on the radios a little upset at each other about what happened there on the back straightaway right before that yellow. So we're going to keep an eye on that. There's some real rivalries building up here in this Challenger Series as we're getting down to crunch time in the season pace car heading off the racetrack. Cade Brown taking his green flag racing once again. He's going to go a little early, and that's going to catch Rick Rube out again. Rick Rube going to allow Zach Onen back in the line. Here comes Harnish on the outside.
Ethan Johnson slides around down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Felix Gratton is outside in the 6. We got that battle for that 3rd position once again as Harnish and Rube get side by side. Here comes Ethan Johnson as he's going to be to the inside of Harnish now as they're going to try to put Harnish back to 5th. Felix Gratton able to slot into the inside, so he's going to be there in 6th.
Harnish looking for a way down to the bottom, but he's got Ethan Johnson there. Felix Gratton is lined up. Braze Brinkley back there as well in the 11 car. So this could be tough sledding for the 22. He might be stuck on the outside until somebody makes a mistake.
Jordan Harnish going to try to find his way down a little farther back. Here comes LP Lazier making his way forward. He's going to be the inside of Del Mears. That's the battle for the 11th position. A couple of other cars battling back there as Corsall and Sean Hayes are side by side. Jeff Rivard and AJ Rogers as well. Jordan Harnish able to get down up front here as Felix Gratton got by him in the 6 machine for that 5th spot. Gets down in front of Blaze Brinkley in the 11. Jordan Harnish going to try to make his way forward now.
Cade Brown still your leader, and Zachary Onen is right with them. They have started to pull away from Rick Rube, and they've started to stretch that spot. Ethan Johnson now all to the back bumper of the 81. Gave him a shot through 3 and 4. We got a race for 3rd right now. Ethan Johnson trying to get around Rick Rube.
Ethan Johnson all over the back of the 81 machine. Rick Rube sitting in 3rd up front. Zach Onen started to put some pressure on Cade Brown in that 08 car. So he is right on the back bumper of Cade Brown. Got to watch here as these guys, we know, Jeff, the tires start to wear out on this setup as Ethan Johnson going to get right to the back bumper of the 81 car. Can't do anything with it. Rick Rube is on the apron through turns 1 and 2. So they're going to fall back off that 08 car just a little bit. Single file all the way around the racetrack except for one battle that's double file. And that's going to be Del Mears as he's on the outside. Peter Fisher almost gets in him going into turn 1. Peter Fisher going to look to pass Mears as Mears backing up down the 112.
Jonathan Sanford going to pick up a spot there as Dave Corsall got up the racetrack. Sanford moving forward. Here comes the one of Sean Hayes as well. Now the caution's going to wave here on lap 50. Looks like Aaron Johnson's around there and went around on the front straightaway. Looks like he got some help from Will Jervicki. I think the 78 was struggling getting off the corner. There's another car in front of him, the 71 of Peter Fisher. He was waiting to pick up the throttle and just kind of got turned around by the 30.
Yeah, Peter Fisher was struggling in the 71. Aaron Johnson was on the apron, and Will Jervicki just not off the gas enough. Gets into the back of the 78, turns around on the front straightaway. Will already apologizing to the 78 of Aaron Johnson. Unfortunately, the 78 ended up backwards in the front straightaway.
78 going to continue on here as we're under caution on lap 51. So he'll rejoin at the rear of the field. Restart to about 23rd position as Angel Ortega comes down pit road once again to repair some damage on the 12.
Also felt bad for the pit entry cone there as Aaron Johnson punted it across the start-finish line. So a track official going to have to go out and retrieve that cone as it completed a lap there, I believe. Race control making the call there, saying that it was a racing deal as the 71 had checked up a little bit, made the 78 check up in the car behind the 78, couldn't see the checkup and caused the contact there. So we'll call it a racing deal. If you haven't already, like and share the broadcast. We are only 54 laps into this 125 lap main event. So a lot of racing still to occur. So get your friends, get your family in here, especially if you're one of the race drivers. It'd be pretty cool to have your family watching you drive some virtual race cars on the iRacing service.
Well, Cade Brown going to restart your leader once again, leading on lap 54. Led every lap. Zach Oden, Rick Rube. Now Ethan Johnson on the outside of the 51. This is a kind of a stacked up restart. Rick Rube missed it there a little bit. Oden going to slot back into second. Here comes Johnson on the outside. Can he roll the top around Rick Rube this time?
Ethan Johnson gets a nice run down the back straightaway. We haven't seen anybody be able to challenge on the top side. Rick Rube's going to roll through 3 and 4 pretty well, but Ethan Johnson doing well as well. He's going to stay to the door. The 81 car tries to get momentum down the straightaway. The problem with Langley is that you never stop turning. So basically the inside is always on the inside. You just turn all the way around the racetrack. You see Rick Rube able to clear the 51 Ethan Johnson. Here comes Felix Gratton in the 6. Jordan Harness starting to come back forward as he had gotten caught on the outside earlier. Now Ethan Johnson's in that same spot.
Yeah, Johnson restarting that 4th position. That seems to be the worst place to restart on the racetrack right now is 4th. And Ethan Johnson, he's going to lose a couple spots. Can he get in front of Blaze Brinkley? He does. Slots in front of the 11. Now he's going to battle back on Harnish. He spins the 22 into turn 1. Caution's going to wave.
Caution comes out. Good save by the 22 of Jordan Harnish. Let's check to see what happened there. We saw the 51 of Ethan Johnson able to it looked like he was attempting a crossover move as they came down the front straightaway, and he just gets into the back of the 22 machine, just not there in the 51, and turns him sideways into turn 1.
Yeah, Bill, we have a saying that we say every single week: see car, don't hit car. And that's the situation there with the 51. He was trying to make that over under, and he just never quite got there, and he really just ran back into the left rear quarter panel of the 22.
Yeah, and to Jordan's credit, he basically let him know that, it wasn't happening. You're not going to get there. There's a rule in racing. It's kind of an unwritten rule, an unspoken rule. Oh, it's spoken of, but it's a rule. If you're not to the driver's at least tire, you got to let him go. So in that situation, that's just an ultra aggressive move by the 51 machine trying to get to the bottom. And I wonder if he was just trying to scare the 22 up the racetrack. And try to get him to give him the position as he just gets into the back left corner. I don't even know if he really got to the quarter panel, but just pretty much just got to the back bumper and punted him.
An absolute shout out to Jordan Harnish, who made a brilliant save. That could have been bad news for Harnish, and he was able to hold on to that. He's going to lose a spot to Blaze Brinkley. but that 51 going to go to the rear of the field for bringing out that caution. So we are under caution here, lap 61. Ethan Johnson go to the rear of the field. Not happy about that call. So temper's already flaring right now here. Him and Harnish had words earlier on tonight, so they are not happy about what's going on here at Langley tonight. But Bill, we are getting double file. So Cade Brown, Zach Onen on that front row again. This time it puts Felix Gratton outside the 81 in the 4th position. We've seen that 4th spot just be the worst place to start right now. Felix Gratton now in that spot. Blaze Brinkley moves up to 5th. Jordan Harnish into the 6th spot. Cade Brown sending us green flag racing. Once again, Rube is going to spin.
Rick Rube down to the bottom, backwards in the 81 machine, having a great night. Trying to figure out what happened to him on the restart. We know Rick had been struggling a little bit on the restarts, but this time, somebody just got into the back of him to figure out what happened to Rick.
It looks like, yeah, I think Brinkley kind of got into the 11. I think the 11 was watching the 99. Rick missed that start again. And I think the guys behind him, they're watching the leader, not watching him. And Blaze just kind of ran into the back of the 81.
That was a tough thing there. Blaze barely touches him to get him sideways. That makes him check up even more. I mean, if at all that he touched the 81 car, but it clearly...
Well, I will say, Rick knows I'm listening to the radio, and he just keyed up, and he said, Jeff, don't give anybody a penalty. I spun the tires.
Well, that is the kind of honesty that we have grown to appreciate from the Ravishing One, Rick Rube, is he let everybody know that was not Blaze Brinkley's fault. Takes all doubt away from any type of call, and clearly we have that opportunity here on this in the iRacing service. Unfortunately, too many drivers don't like to do that. They don't like to tell that they made a mistake. But Rick Rube admitting that he spun the tires and that caused Blaze to get into him, so that way there is no doubt left. It was unfortunately Rick Rube spinning the tires on a restart to the 81 machine to the back.
Elliot Carlson in the chat said maybe Rick didn't see the leader go, and we've been giving him a hard time the last 2 nights. So Rick,
don't do it, Jeff.
I won't do it again tonight. He heard about what I said last night, but Rick gonna rejoin the rear of the field here in 24th position. So we are under caution here. Lap 67 here at Langley Speedway. This is going to set up a single file restart. We didn't even make it to the green flag there. So this will be a single file this time. As Cade Brown gets control of this restart, he can choose any line he wants. He's taking this thing all the way to the wall this time. He's going to get that big run down the front straightaway, try to get away from Zach Onen.
Cade Brown with a decent restart. Zach Onen with a good restart. Everybody kind of got a pretty equal restart all the way around. The only issue seems to be Jonathan Sanford, as he's got a 3-car gap as they hit through 1 and 2. Sean Hayes in the 1 machine has made his way all the way up. Looks like he's running in the 8th position in that 1 car. It's the top 8, all nose to tail.
Yeah, Sean is having an impressive night. He had a penalty to start this race, started 24th on the grid, and he is already up into the top 10, starting to move forward. A week 1 winner at Hickory, and trying to do the same here at Langley. He is flying through the field.
Zach Onen still there on Cade Brown, not letting the 99 get away. Felix Gratton in the 6 is there as well. Jordan Harnish looking racing once again in the 22 machine. Right behind them, someone we haven't seen all night long that's made his way all the way up to 5th. That's Jean-Philippe Bergeron in that 18 car. He's all the way up to 5th. I believe he started fairly deep in the field in 15th. So Bergeron making moves in that 18.
Ian Martin and Sean Hayes got together. Hayes gets around the 98. 98 got the wall down the back straightaway as well. And then the 54 got in the back of the 212 of Sanford. He's trying to get around him down onto the apron, trying to make that pass. Not able to do it that time. This is the battle for 9th on the racetrack, as Sanford currently holding on to 9th, Horsfall 10th, and Dunkelberger back there. That's our quick qualifier tonight. He's kind of fallen all the way back to 11th, just kind of riding in the middle of the field right now.
But if you heard Dunkelberger talk about his quick time award, he said he pulled it from crevices that we don't want to talk about. That was a lucky lap for the 18 machine. Didn't feel like he had that kind of speed, and right now not able to make his way forward in the 18 car. So he's all the way, well, not all the way back, but he's back from 8th to 11th in this race.
Super Zach Onen under pressure now from Felix Gratton. Now Harnish gets bumped from Bergeron. Bergeron moves the 22 up the racetrack. He's going to take that spot away. Harnish got up the racetrack. Here comes Brinkley now trying to take advantage as well. Harnish is going to repay the favor. He bumps the 18 up the racetrack.
Harnish with a bump going into turn number 3, shoves the 18 up the racetrack. They almost made contact down the front straightaway. Hard, short track racing between these two drivers. A good job to keep those cars underneath them. Now Harnish down on the bottom. He's going to door the 18. 18 to Bergeron up into the wall. Won't be happy about that. Brinkley gets a piece of that as well.
Brinkley now gets together with the 18. This is getting wild here in the top 5. This is the battle for 5th on the racetrack between the 11 and the 18. Harnish trying to get away after he put the bumper to Bergeron in that 18 just a moment ago. And now will Bergeron get back to him and give it to him? That's a dangerous move from Harnish. He's racing for points. The 18 is not. He's only ran a couple races here this season. He's here to win and nothing else.
Yeah, now Brinkley going to look underneath the 18, and Bergeron has to lift as the 18 kind of came down or was just a little bit lower on the racetrack. The 11 didn't want to make contact, so those guys continue to battle. Looks like Bergeron might be struggling a little bit with that race car. You can see the damage on the right-hand side after getting into the wall as Harnish starting to pull away from him.
Felix Gratton starting to put the bumper to the 08 to Zach Onen. He hit him last time through 3 and 4. This time he's going to shove him again, trying to move that 08 up the racetrack. Onen holding on to second, but they're watching Cade Brown drive away. Brown up to 0.6 of a second lead over Onen. Gratton now up to 3rd, trying to get around Onen and chase down your leader.
Cade Brown doing a nice job out front, just making consistent laps. Zach Onen falling off his bumper. Felix Gratton feels like he's faster, and we get a yellow.
The caution was in the middle of 1 and 2. It looked like Angel Ortega was around. Kind of missed what happened there. It looks like he spun going into turn 1 and then ended up spinning all the way back up across the racetrack.
Angel Ortega just got sideways and ends up in the grass in turn 1 and then ends up in the wall in turn 2. So I believe probably done for the evening in that 12 machine. And I think, Jeff, that might even be his 2nd yellow on the night.
Yeah, Angel, unfortunately, I think that's going to probably end it. He hit the outside wall pretty good there as he came back across the racetrack. He already had a little damage on that 12, so just a tough break for him. Rough way to end tonight. Came from the B main and did a good job transferring in, and the A main just did not go his way.
We are working lap 83, and we will go back to a double file restart this time. There was some chatter on the radio, some guys up in the top 10, a little unhappy with each other. I'm not going to tell you who they were, but you can probably guess, as we saw some really aggressive racing on that last little green flag run. And I think it's probably going to be just as exciting this time as well.
Well, Angel Ortega is going to call it a night. He is leaving the track, so 24 or the 12 car is done. We'll finish 24 tonight. That leaves us 23 cars in this field of the 24 that started. All of them on the lead lap. So, I mean, at this point, if you get spun out or go to the rear of the field, it's going to be a devastating night because you're going to lose a ton of points. Really, not the attrition that we expected from Langley Speedway. Not a lot of torn up race cars either. Everybody's got pretty clean stuff and ready to do battle here to the end. We're working lap 84 of this 125 lapper.
Well, we got just about 40 laps remaining. Don't forget to go over to LaDuke-Matthews Racing Facebook page and say hello. Give them a like over there at LaDuke-Matthews Racing, supporting the race tonight. And they are the weekly sponsor here. So make sure you give them a like on their Facebook page. And County Road Custom Millwork, do the same. Go over there and say hello to them as well. They are the sponsor of the series, but we are about to go green flag racing. Cade Brown, Zach Onen on your front row once again.
Cade Brown has led every single lap from the pole here. Zach Onen has been in second this entire time, but things are starting to stack up behind him. Felix Gratton, Jordan Harnish trying to get going. Onen did not get a great restart. Here comes Felix trying to take over second. Bergeron there in third. Harnish is slot back into fifth, got to the inside. Sean Hayes now battling Brinkley for the sixth spot.
Boy, that was a crazy entry into turn 1. Jordan Harnish able to get to the bottom. Case Brinkley up the racetrack now in the 11 car. He's stuck on the outside. Onen stuck on the outside as well. There goes Jean-Philippe Bergeron. There goes Jordan Harnish. Here comes Sean Hayes in the 1.
Grattan is all over the 99 of Brown now for the race lead. He gave him a shot through 1 and 2. This time he's there. Bergeron up into third, trying to chase down this lead pack. He's bringing Harnish with him. Sean Hayes now up into fifth from the last row of this race. And the one car, you got to watch out for him because he is flying through the field, and he is not done yet. I think he's going to get to the front before this one's over.
Blaze Brinkley just took 6th away from Zach Onen. Now Zach Onen has Dave Corsall in the 54 machine. He's going to be underneath him. Here comes Ryan Dunkelberger in the 18. Side by side for the lead. Felix Grattan to the bottom entering turn 3.
Yeah, Felix gave him the bumper through 1 and 2. Can Cade Brown give it back to the 6? But Felix out front, the 99. He's led every lap until now. Now he's going to try to return the favor to the 6 and Grattan. Grattan going to hold on. Well, sideways down the back straightaway.
That had to check up the 99 to Cade Brown. He's going to give him the bumper through turns 3 and 4. Not able to move the 6 off the bottom. Cade Brown going to be right there. Felix Grattan running defensive lines entering turn 1. He's going to be up the racetrack in 1 and 2.
Harnish moving the 18 up the racetrack. They're going to get together down the back straightaway. Little contact. Now Bergeron might be spinning in 3 and 4. He's going to hold on to it, but he's going to lose a ton of spots.
Losing ground in that 18 machine. Jean-Philippe Bergeron, he's going to be up to the high side. Here comes Ryan Dunkelberger, 18 on 18 battle. Cade Brown not able to get back to Felix Grattan. Grattan trying to get away in the top spot.
Now Cade Brown under pressure from Jordan Harnish. A lot of stuff going on. A big wreck on the front straightaway. Eden Martin's involved. Will Jervicki spins. Now Peter Fisher going around. We got all kinds of trouble.
So issues with drivers. It looks like this starts with, I believe, Zach Onen. Something goes on there with Rivard, Bergeron, that whole stack up of the 18s. It looks like
Bergeron was trying to get back in line, and that just stacked up the field as they all just piled into each other. Then Luke Baldwin and LP Lazier, Ian Martin get together down the front straightaway. That put LP into the outside wall. Jervicki went around, and then Baldwin and Ian Martin got together later on. And that's 2 championship contenders there involved. Ian Martin and the 72 of Lazier got torn up in that mess, and that is bad news for those two as they're battling for a championship and just got involved in a pretty big mess there on the front straightaway.
one of the things I'm trying to figure out, Jeff, I think that's just a racing situation, is that we've seen it all night long, these guys that drop into these holes, and the guys behind them don't necessarily check up too quickly, and it just stacks the field. But I'm trying to figure out what happened with the 7 of Luke Baldwin there, as he gets sideways and then just stomps the gas and tries to pass everybody and crashes some of those points contenders.
Yeah, that was just a situation there where, you know, we talked about in the drivers' meeting, people are going to try to get to the inside line. It's going to cause stack ups. You got to watch in front of you. And I think that's a situation. They saw cars slowing down and they figured, I can pass a couple of guys here. And nobody lifted. Just absolutely no lift at all. And everybody just trying to pick up every last spot they can get and got themselves into a lot of trouble there.
I mean, in their defense, it is hard to see through these cars. The rear end sits way higher than the front end, just how these cars are shaped. And no spotter to tell you, you know, a real life spotter would say they're checking up, and you would get on the brakes. This doesn't happen. This is all visual. So a lot of those guys probably from Rivard on back can't see that the 18 is checking up the 08. So it is unfortunate. And that's why we call it a racing deal, because it's just so hard to get vision out of front of these cars. They are going to line up double file as we are working lap 98. Still 26 laps remaining, 26 and a half. As these drivers trying to shake it out. Exciting racing in your top 6. Just a little bit farther back, you've got some issues. We saw what happened there as we are about to go green flag racing. Now Felix Grattan and Cade Brown on the front row.
Felix will have control of this restart in the 6 car this time, the 99 on the outside. He's going to need a good restart. Harnish got a great restart. He's going to be right there to the door of the 99 entering turn 1, trying to put the pressure on Felix Grattan. And Cade Brown fight back on the outside down the back straightaway, trying to move forward. Sean Hayes going to try to slot in line as well. He's going to get help from Dunkelberger, maybe go around.
looks like Sean Hayes saves that with number 1 machine as he was dead sideways. But I wonder if that's another one of those situations. Oh boy, we've got a parking lot on the front straightaway.
Yeah.
Del Mears, Andrew Wamsley, Jean-Philippe Bergeron. There's Uncle Pete, Peter Fisher there, AJ Rogers in the 17. Let's see what happened to those guys. There's a little bit of contact through 3 and 4. I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened. Sean Hayes, what a save in that number 1 machine. Oh, and it's Bergeron that gets hit from behind. So it looks like Jeff Rivard was on the bottom, and Bergeron just kind of switches lanes as the 54 Dave Corsall has to check up for Sean Hayes.
And I'm
a little bit of net code there.
Well, I'm watching the situation there with the 18. He never drifted off that yellow line. He was there on the yellow line. I think he was trying to maintain that inside position. We told the guys, you got to be careful about trying to chop. If a guy's there on the inside, they're not going to give you the room if you chop them. And sure enough, Dunkelberger there to the door of the 1 when they make contact in the center of the corner. It looks like Sean maybe came down the racetrack just trying to pinch the 18 and try to take that spot away from him.
Yeah, it looked like Sean Hayes tried to get into that hole, realized it wasn't going to be there, then kind of reset in his mind, said, okay, I'll run the top. But then kind of just stayed in the middle where there just wasn't a ton of room for Dunkelberger to be down there. And he was already there, and they made contact.
Yeah, just some contact there, and then everything just happened behind them. You saw Bergeron get turned around, and that ended up causing a big pileup as everybody stacked up there. Really, the incident kind of just happened there with the 46 or the 18 of Bergeron. Looked like maybe Jeff Rivard, as he tried to go by the 18, just a little netcode issue, sent the 18 around.
So this one turning into a bit of a mess late as these guys trying to get everything they possibly can.
So we are going to go back to green here. Pace car lights are off. We are going back to green with Felix Gratton and Jordan Harnish. Blaze Brinkley there in the second row with Cade Brown. Brown falling all the way back to 4th now. But Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Gratton going to go Harnish on the outside. Brinkley got a great restart. Brown did not get a great restart. He's going to be stuck on the outside of Dunkelberger. Now here comes Brinkley in the 11 trying to fight into second. He will get there. The caution's going to wave.
Saw LP Lazier was sideways through turn 1.
Peter Fisher is around as well. Yeah, it looks like Ingram just kind of missed the start there. Ian Martin got in the back of LP Lazier. And then LP just kind of goes back up into the corner, out of control a bit, and ends up making contact with the 98. That ends up catching the 71, and just an incident that started in 3 and 4 and lasted all the way till turn 2.
And the LP Lazier ends up sideways. Not sure. I mean, I know everyone's stacked up there, but I'm confused as what's happening in turn 1. Just mayhem behind everyone there. Just confused as to what's going on with these guys every once in a while. I just don't see why the things happen that they do. I know everybody's trying to get forward, but at this point, you're kind of hurting your own chances. And even in this situation at a championship, some guys should just be keeping their nose clean and trying to pick up positions as everybody else is running into each other.
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing a lot of damage now to the 72 LP Lazier. He's been involved in a couple things tonight. Came into points second and really not gone his way here at Langley. He's been involved in a lot of stuff. His car is torn up, and it's just going to be a battle now to pick up as many points as he can late into this race. So we are under caution here. About 15 laps to go when they cross the line. We should get the pace car lights out this time. Felix Gratton going to take us green flag racing with about 14 laps to go. So time's starting to run out here in the LaDuke-Matthews Racing 125. This is going to be a single file restart here this time because we did not complete a lap. That one really started coming to the green flag there. We saw Joshua Ingram maybe missed the start a little bit, maybe missed a shift or spun the tires. Not sure what happened there with the 56, but he did not get going. That really stacked up the guys behind him.
So single file restart on this with Felix Gratton, Blaze Brinkley. Brinkley hasn't been this high up in the race as he is now sitting in the second spot. Jordan Harnish third, and Cade Brown all the way back to fourth after leading most of this event. Gratton on the gas. Brinkley with a nice restart in second. Looks like Cade Brown was the one caught sleeping there, so he's going to fall behind Harnish by about a car length or two.
Dunkelberger under pressure as well from Sean Hayes. Dunkelberger in that fifth spot, but looking up front, Blaze Brinkley right there in the 11 with the 6 of Felix Gratton. Can Brinkley get to the 6? Can he put deep pressure on Felix Gratton? Jordan Harnish back there in third as well. He's still not out of this battle.
Luke Baldwin going to make a move on Jeff Rivard. That's for the 9th spot.
Battling up front still. Blaze Brinkley in that second position. Jordan Harnish third. Cade Brown fourth. Ryan Dunkelberger fifth. His top 7 cars just nose to tail. Sean Hayes there in the 1. You got the 54, Dave Corsel, one of the B main winners. He gets in the back of Hayes. Hayes is going to spin off turn 2.
Sean Hayes, after having such a great event, now having issues as he gets spun. Looks like one of those situations, Jeff.
Yeah, just
we talk about our saying.
Yeah, just a C car don't hit car situation. And you can see Corsel, he rolled the corner a lot more than the 1 did, and that's a situation you really just got to be careful not to get too close to the back bumper of a guy mid corner. Just he got a great run through the center of the corner. It just was too much. It just kind of ran into the back of the 1 and spins him out there.
So Sean Hayes going to drop to the 12th position, was running solidly in the top 10, having a great night in that 1 car after starting in the back row, or way out to the back, actually starting in 20th position, coming out of the B main. Now he's back to 12th. He'll have to rally over the course of the next, looks like it's going to be about 6 laps when we go green. Delmire's getting his lap back in the 112, gets the lucky dog. That'll put 21 cars on the lead lap.
So Felix Gratton, your leader, Blaze Brinkley second, Jordan Harnish third, Cade Brown fourth, Ryan Dunkelberger, Zachary Owen in the 6th position, Ethan Johnson back up to 7th. Johnson had to go all the way to the rear of the field. He's worked his way forward to 7th. Luke Baldwin 8th, Jeff Rivard 9th, Jonathan Sanford holding on to a top 10. Sanford's been in the top 10 all night, just doing a great job, staying out of trouble. Sean Hayes, you saw him get turned around there a minute ago. He only lost a couple spots, going to restart 11th here. Rick Rube 12th, Aaron Johnson, Jean-Philippe Bergeron 14th, Ian Martin 15th, AJ Rogers, LP Lazier, Josh Ingram, Andrew Wamsley, Del Mears, and Dave Corsel, your 21 cars still in this event. All these drivers still on the lead lap.
He's French-Canadian, Jeff. It's Jean-Philippe Bergeron.
All right, I'll try to get better at that.
It's called Cabri. Cabri. I have no... Okay, Cabri. Just kidding. Just messing with your pronunciations. But Felix Gratton, another Canadian, going to be out front.
So time is starting to take away. We're going to come back around, see the green with 6 laps to go. A double file restart here, and this could be wild here. Pace car lights are off. He's going to head off the racetrack. Felix Gratton, Blaze Brinkley on the front row. And they're going to try to mix it up this time. Gratton went a little bit earlier than he did last time, trying to catch the 11 off guard. Here comes Harnish for second. Harnish in the 22. And Felix is going to love to see this battle behind him as he tries to drive away.
Brinkley on the outside. Dunkelberger getting a shot from Cade Brown. Cade Brown got a shot from Ethan Johnson. Rivard got sideways. We got mayhem through turns 3 and 4, and we'll go yellow. Sean Hayes involved. The one machine, he's around on the front straightaway. That was just everybody bumping each other through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was the situation there. There was a stack up. Sean Hayes got in the back of Rivard. Rivard trying to save it, catches the one car, spins him around. Hayes ends up being the guy that goes around there. And just kind of chaos. No lift again from these guys as things start to stack up in front of them. And this late in the race, they are just not giving anything. They're keeping their foot in it and trying to gain every last spot right now.
Yeah, Cade Brown and Dunkelberger had made the move on Cade Brown. Cade Brown gave him a shot entering turn 3, shoved him up the racetrack, trying to figure out what happens to Hayes as they go into turn 3. I think Ethan Johnson had to check up for the situation between Cade Brown and Dunkelberger. That checked up Luke Baldwin, that checked up Rivard, and Hayes gets into the back of Rivard. And unfortunately, Hayes, nobody behind him checked up. They just all drove through it.
So we're going to see a green-white checker now here, and these guys did not complete a lap again, so they're going to have a single-file restart for the green-white checker. And the driver's not happy about it, but the way that they're racing right now, I don't think they need a double file at all.
Yeah, Jeff, race control came over their receivers and warned them that if they had another yellow, actually it was 2 yellows, so they told them they would have one more double file restart. That was it. So we are relegated to single file restarts to end this race. Unfortunately, these guys not able to get through enough laps to finish without a tremendous amount of yellows, and it seems to be happening with everybody trying to get down after being on the outside after a double file restart. So single file restarts from here on out, and we'll get our first attempt at a green white checker finish.
So Felix Gratton, still your leader. Harnish able to get up in that second spot that last time. We went green. Blaze Brinkley into the 3rd spot. Dunkelberger 4th. Cade Brown 5th. Ethan Johnson fought his way all the way back up to 6th now. Luke Baldwin 7th. Zach Onan 8th. Jeff Rivard 9th. Jonathan Sanford still holding on to 10th. Bergeron into the 11th spot. Johnson, Ian Martin, Rick Rube, and LP Lazier currently running 15th on the racetrack right now. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Gratton in control in the 6th. Going to take us back green flag racing for a green white checkered finish. And he got away from Hardish. Now Dunkelberger is going to spin into turn 1. Caution waves for Ryan Dunkelberger. Our quick qualifier.
Yeah, that's a confusing one there, Jeff. The 99 starts to make a pass in turns 3 and 4. I don't know if we warned them against that, but we have warned them in past seasons that you can't start a pass before you get to the start-finish line. I know we usually talk to them about not. So unfortunate for the 18 and the 1 car, they are now both in the back. Dunkelberger spun going into turn 1 as the result of the contact, and then Cade Brown goes to the back with him. So that kind of aggressive move doesn't benefit either drivers. Now Dunkelberger and Cade Brown going to be running it looks like the 19th and 20th positions respectively. So Felix Grattan going to be your leader once again. Been leading all of this during all of this mayhem, and he has Jordan Harnish in that 22 machine on his back bumper. Blaze Brinkley able to stay in that third spot in the 11 car. Did survive some double foul restarts on the outside. He's still running third. Ethan Johnson running fourth. Luke Baldwin in the fifth spot, all the way back up to fifth in that 7NC machine. Zach Onan rallying in the 08. He's running sixth. Jeff Rivard in the 72 running seventh. Jonathan Sanford in the 212 eighth. Aaron Johnson rallying in the 78. He's ninth. And then you've got Ian Martin in the 98 machine in the 10th spot.
It seems to be a common theme tonight. A lot of guys having to rally. It seems like most of these guys have gone to the back at some point and fought their way forward. Ethan Johnson was back there about 100 laps ago, and now he is back to the front in fourth position. Luke Baldwin as well. We've seen Rivard get caught up in a few things, Ian Martin. So all of these drivers trying to fight their way back forward in this race, and points very, very important here as we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing. Felix Grattan is your leader, going to have full control of this restart over Jordan Harnish.
So Grattan doing a little bit of dry pulls, trying to get his tires warmed up. We've seen some tire spin from these drivers before. Here's the pace car off. Grattan going to go in turn 4. Harnish with a decent restart. Blaze Brinkley there as well in the 11. They have 2 laps. They're going to be a lap and a half as we hit the back straightaways. They're going to get the white flag this time by.
Grattan was able to pull away from Harnish just a bit. Can Harnish close the gap as they're going to see the white flag this time for Felix Grattan here at Langley?
Felix Grattan through turns 1 and 2 going to be clear of Harnish by about a half a car length. Make that a car length as he opens up the gap down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Off turn 4, Felix Grattan going to pick up his second win in the ITZR County Road Custom Millwork Late Model Challenger Series. Takes home the win in the LaDuke-Matthews 125 here at Langley. Jordan Harnish going to come home second. Blaze Brinkley third. Ethan Johnson fourth. Luke Baldwin going to come home with a top 5 finish. Zachary Onan going to come home 6th. Jeff Rivard 7th. Jonathan Sanford 8th. Aaron Johnson 9th. Ian Martin going to come home 10th tonight. Rick Rube 11th. LP Lazier 12th. AJ Rogers, Dave Corsell, Del Mears 15th tonight. Sean Hayes 16th. Dunkelberger, Cade Brown, Joshua Ingram, Andrew Wamsley, Jean-Philippe Bergeron 21st tonight. Peter Fisher, Wildervicky, and Angel Ortega going to come home 24th. But Felix Grattan gets his second win of the season. Newcomer to the series, immediately comes in, wins at Richmond, and then comes here to Langley, picks up another victory. Just a young kid in the 6th car for Canadian driver, picks up his second win of the season. And Bill, this was kind of a rough one here.
Yeah, impressive by the 6 machine. Jordan Harnish, great run. Blaze Brinkley, great run. A lot of action on the racetrack, Jeff. When the racing was going on, it was pretty good. But just a few too many incidents, of course. So many cautions. We're going to clean it up. Race control spent about the last 30 or 40 laps of the race kind of scolding the driver. So we'll see how that works out for next week.
Well, next week we're heading to Five Flag Speedway. You're going to watch the Snowball Derby on Sunday, and then we're going to do it ourselves here. The Lone Star E-Speed Shops 125s from Five Flag Speedway will be live on all of your devices: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, on our website, In the Zone Racing. We'll be live Monday and Tuesday night, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern. For our live streams, you can catch us there. For everybody that hung out on Facebook tonight with us, left us comments, we appreciate it. We love you